Raise your hand if you ever played a video game. It could be on a mobile phone or a console like a PlayStation or an Xbox. Okay, it looks like most of you have. You can put your hands down now. Thank you. Much like books and movies, video games are categorized into genres, and if you ever looked in a game, you more than likely know what genre suits you. But do you know how that genre affects you? This is what I'll be telling you about today. According to the Entertainment Software Association, there's at least one gamer in 75% of American households. In other words, in 3 out of 4 US families, there is bound to be one gamer to live in a household. When you put this into perspective regarding the US population of nearly 332 million, according to the US Census Bureau, those numbers are astronomical. Today, I will be telling you about the general basis of video games, then I will be elaborating upon this and informing you about the 2 commonly played types of video games and how they affect you. The 3 main points I will discuss today are general video game information, strategy video games, and games that promote helping behaviors. Video games were invented in the late 1950s, and the first console was the Brown Box, which was licensed to Magnavox. In 1972, Magnavox released the Brown Box as the Magnavox Odyssey, but after being discontinued, Pong, designed by Alan Alcorn, was released in 1972 by the first widely recognized gaming company, Atari. Following the release of Pong, video games became increasingly recognized and more companies began to flourish. As the years progressed and technology advanced, games also improved, leading to the genres that most of us know today. Some examples of gaming genres are real-time strategy, role-playing games, massively multiplayer online role-playing games, shooters, and sandboxes. Indeed, these are just a few examples, the list goes on and on. Some popular games today are Call of Duty, a first-person shooter game, Minecraft, a sandbox game, and Grand Theft Auto, an action-adventure role-playing game. Now that you've learned some history, let's get into the specifics and start with strategy games. Strategy games require the player or players to think and plan out their action before they continue, rather than fighting their way out of situations. This genre can be found in board games and digital video games and is enjoyed by many people. Some examples are chess, which can be digital or board, Planet Coaster, and one that most of you know, Candy Crush. Strategy games work in ways that challenge your mind and improve your cognitive function, which is the ability of the human brain to store and process information. Some examples of human cognitive functions are the ability to remember, learn, and problem solve. The difference in the design of strategy games is the reason why people react differently when playing a game within the genre. As stated by Huang and Cheng, students at the Nanjing Normal University in their Applied Sciences Review of the benefits of video games on brain cognitive function, this causes the areas of the brain that are tasked with logical reasoning and memory to receive new stimuli continually, and as a result, the structure of these areas changes accordingly, leading to functional improvement. Strategy games are constantly being made to challenge how we think and carry out ideas. So much like our muscles, if our brains lack the appropriate training, our cognition levels will decrease over time. Huang and Cheng also found that after training, the content of the video game caused many activations in specific areas, mainly the prefrontal cortex, which takes most of the control over cognitive function, which resulted in highly apparent performance improvement. According to the Pew Research Center, puzzle and strategy games are the most popular genres as documented by a survey conducted in 2017, where 62% of Americans stated that they typically play both strategy and puzzle games. Cognitive functions are very important to development of the human brain, and we can improve them through strategy games while also engaging in an enjoyable leisure activity. Next up, games that promote helping behaviors. As referenced earlier, massively multiplayer online role-playing games are made for players who enjoy the social aspect of video games. Some examples are Wizard 101, Final Fantasy XIV, and Elder Scrolls Online. When I say helping behaviors, you probably ask yourself what counts as a helping behavior. Well, helping behaviors are actions, usually voluntary, that are intended to help others without expecting a reward, also known as altruism. People have many different reasons as to why they want to play an MMO, some reasons being that it's more enjoyable online, it's more competitive, or it's more interactive. According to Velez and Waldson, a student and professor at Ohio State University, in their article, Helping Behaviors During Video Game Play, they state that the possible helping behaviors video game players can engage in during gameplay can be broadly grouped into behavioral and verbal helping. Verbal helping included giving tips on how to improve others' play or informing them on how to complete a task. And behavioral helping included helping with one's character or helping others when they are physically present. As players work together or compete against each other, these behaviors will start to develop, whether they take a specialized role within a group that requires them to communicate back and forth, or they already have an altruistic personality and the game just allows it to flourish. In their research, Velez and Walton also found that altruistic individuals do not exhibit as much behavior helping as they do verbal, and this may be that they feel if they help behaviorally, the person or group that they assist will not properly learn how the game is supposed to be played. Helping behaviors are very important in the world because they play a crucial part in improving the manners and respect that people hold. And this solely can play a part in furthering the manneristic ways of our society as a whole. So, to wrap things up, there are many different video game genres that fit different people. You have your strategy games that improve our cognitive functions, which allow your brain to undergo processes with ease. And then you have your massively multiplayer online games that help you develop increased helping behaviors. Video games are important to many people, and I hope that I could open your eyes to some new information to show why. Now, you guys can even go try to find your game. Thank you. Good luck.